Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another week of NCAA football, Week 9 edition of Game Time with the Guru. I'm your host, Thaddeus Ward. And before I go any further, I want to say thank God for allowing me to bring my picks to you, all of my fans, another week. And thank God for all you fans being able to tune in and receive my weekly college football picks. Now, with that being said, why even wait any longer? I had y'all waiting long enough. 6 days, 7 days, long enough. Hey, this college football season has been a thrilling one such thus far, and I don't even think it has peaked yet. Even though we're in week 9, still a whole lot of football to be played. Anybody can show up on any Saturday and beat anybody. That is why. That's why they play the game. So, with no further ado, jumping straight into week 9. Last night we had number 25 Virginia Tech win a close one over Pitt. This is kind of interesting because I didn't even see Virginia Tech. I watched them against Tennessee early in the year. Then they kind of fell off my radar when they lost, and they are 5-2 currently, and they're right in the thick of things over in ACC, and they got a good win against Pitt last night, 39-36. Tonight, we have number 22 Navy going down to South Florida. Navy's undefeated. South Florida only has 2 losses. But please believe me when I tell you that South Florida could really make some noise in this game if they could beat the midshipmen. Nobody's been able to figure out the midshipmen's option offense yet. I mean, it's been pretty deadly, at least I guess you could say, this year. They're going down to South Florida, but hey, they're led by the head coach, Ken. Let me see if I can get this right. Head coach Ken Niuma Talolo. Let me try it again. Ken Niuma Talolo. That's the head coach of Navy. If I got that wrong, somebody let me know. South Florida, high explosive offense. But in this game, I'm going to give, I'm going to go with South Florida to be able to outscore Navy and get this win this week. So I got South Florida tonight over number 22 Navy. Next game up, number 2 Michigan at Michigan State. And this is going to be the first game on Saturday. And during the preseason or during the offseason, spring training, this game was a game that everyone had on their schedule as one could be possibly one of the games to decide the Big Ten. But Michigan has looked the part and Michigan State hasn't. Yeah, I know this is a home game for Michigan State. Could they get up? I mean, it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. But in this case here, I'm going to take Michigan over Michigan State. Number 5, Louisville at Virginia. Louisville rolls in this one. Watch Lamar Jackson to continue his Heisman Trophy year. But I just want to say, everybody, if you haven't seen Louisville play, get out there and watch them, because so far this year, I've only seen one team that could possibly cause some problems for Alabama, and Louisville is that team. Number 10, West Virginia at Oklahoma State. West Virginia, I still have not seen them play. They're number 10, and they're steadily climbing the polls. Have I seen them play anybody yet? No. Oklahoma State, they're going to be a tough team to deal with at home, but with West Virginia still being undefeated and having something to play for, only one of 2 teams in the Big 12, West Virginia and Baylor, still undefeated also. I look for West Virginia to stay focused and to go into Bedlam and get this win against Oklahoma State. Number 24, Penn State versus Purdue. Purdue, I'm sure, will be a feisty team and won't go easy. But as long as Penn State has come down from their upset victory over Ohio State last week, and I told everybody, Coach James Franklin and those boys at Penn State were looking for a signature win, and last week they got one. And I told everybody, don't be surprised if Penn State finds a way to beat Ohio State and Even though I took Ohio State, Penn State won, but it's okay. I wasn't surprised by that. So hey, Penn State on the road over Purdue. Next game up, Northwestern versus Ohio State. I look for Ohio State to want to bounce back in this game, and I think Northwestern is catching them at a bad time, coming off a crucial loss. Ohio State, the college football playoff rankings are reflecting them as number 6, meaning that hey, they're still in control of their own destiny. You know, that game against Michigan now is pretty much their college football playoff game this year. That it comes early when you got a loss, and that loss to Penn State wasn't bad as everybody think it is, but it was bad. So, Ohio State heavy over Northwestern at home this week. Next game up, got Baylor versus Texas. I really hope Charlie Strong can get his guys up and get a win at Baylor. At home against Baylor. Baylor's undefeated. Your Texas team is young and upcoming. And when I say upcoming, meaning Charlie Strong should not be fired after this season. He should be given another year. But with that being said, Baylor's going to come in, and you know Baylor like the big play. They love the big play. They like to take their shots. I think if Texas can control the game with their running game, they'll have a shot to win this. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to take Texas to beat number 8 Baylor this Saturday. Number 14 Florida versus Georgia. That's right, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. This game will be played at a neutral site in Jacksonville, Florida. Big shout out to everybody in Jacksonville. Hey, I miss you guys down there. I'm sure this game is going to, and this is one of the years where the game could possibly be lopsided. Georgia is not as talented as they have been in the past for this game, and I think it's going to show once the game goes on into the stages of the second half. This game can get ugly, and even though it's a rivalry, Florida, they got the quarterback back. They got Jack Del Rio back with his son. He came back, and so he's back at quarterback. And honestly, to me, if Florida had Del Rio quarterbacking against Tennessee, they'd be undefeated right now. But Florida is in control of their own destiny. It's simple as this. Win out SEC championship game, you're in there. SEC championship game, if you can find a way to beat who I assume is going to be there, Alabama, we're talking college football playoff for Florida. So keep your eyes on Florida, and good luck to y'all Gator fans out there. Next game up, number 13 Boise State Broncos versus Wyoming. Wyoming's 5-2. The Boise State Broncos have not lost a game yet. They're 6-0. I look for it to be a good, tough game, and I just think that Boise State is going to find a way to pull it out this year, tomorrow, and keep their possible slight chance of a college football playoff appearance alive and move to 7-0. Next game up, Kansas versus Oklahoma. Only thing I can say about Kansas is when football season starts in Kansas, only thing they're asking is wins the first game of basketball. Oklahoma big at home in Kansas Saturday night. Next game, we've got number 16 Auburn Tigers versus the Ole Miss Rebels. Last week, I picked Auburn to beat Arkansas, and they did not disappoint. Last week, I picked LSU to beat Ole Miss. I picked Ole Miss to lose to LSU, and they didn't disappoint either. Auburn going into Ole Miss. This would be a no-brainer if I hadn't seen both teams play. But I've seen both teams play. Well, this would be a no-brainer if I hadn't seen both teams play. But I've seen both teams play. Auburn looks like a team whose stock is rising and rising fast. Ole Miss looks like they have called it a season. Chad Kelly, quarterbacking those guys over there, he has been a disappointment. They're 3-4, a team that had possible college football playoff aspirations at the beginning of the year. I think Coach Hugh Freeze should be fired. He has, amongst all the infractions that he has going on, I think that has some of his focus. I think they're ready for a new voice at Ole Miss. And with this being said, Gus Malzahn has not just saved his job for this year, he saved his job for next year. No one saw Auburn beat myself. I didn't even give them 5 wins this year, but they're at 5-2, headed to Ole Miss, and I give Auburn Tigers with that big time defense they have to win this game at Ole Miss. Next game up, number 18 Tennessee versus South Carolina. South Carolina, hey, they got to get some recruiting going over there. This was expected to be a down year. That's cool. That's fine. Tennessee, last time we saw them, they were getting beat up and down in the field at home against Alabama. Hopefully, Bush Jones can rally the troops and they can. I'm gonna pick them to get this win at South Carolina. Could be close. You know, Tennessee's Jekyll and Hyde, but I'm gonna give them the win on the road at South Carolina. Next game, New Mexico State versus Texas A&M. Last week, Texas A&M lost a game in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's okay, Texas A&M. Everybody loses Alabama. Look like it's Alabama and everybody else, but Alabama off this week, so that's all I'm gonna say about them. Kevin Sumlin, Trevor Knight. I hope you guys can get the offense back to rolling again, and the defense. Hey, they should. If you guys can sustain drives, that will help their defense out tremendously. And I'm going to take Texas A&M at home over New Mexico State. All right. One of the biggest games this weekend is number 4, Washington versus number 17, Utah. Coach Peterson at Washington, his quarterback, Browning. Browning is an outside sleeper of a Heisman candidate. Utah, I have not seen them play too much. I saw a few clips of them against USC. This game is on the road at Utah. Utah only has 1 loss. Washington has taken advantage of a weak schedule, and also with the Pac-12 being down this year, Utah was the only big test on their schedule. Washington, I'm sorry. Hey, I believe in you, but just not against Utah. I have Utah's body of work that I've seen not just this year but over the years is what's allowing me to take this pick. So, Washington, you're number 4 in the poll, but get ready to drop because Utah is going to beat you guys at home Saturday. Next game I want to talk about, number 3 Clemson versus number 12 Florida State. Where do I begin? Dabo Swinney, Clemson Tigers. Everything to play for. Florida State, nothing to lose. Everything to gain in this game. If you can't win the ACC and go on and play in the college football playoff, why not knock Clemson out and almost ruin their chances of getting there? Hey, DeAndre Francois, hey, he's a great quarterback. The quarterback at Deshaun Watson at Clemson, he is an upper echelon quarterback. I saw him outduel Lamar Jackson. Not really, but they won the game is why I say outduel Clemson on the road. Or Louisville on the road. So with Clemson going on the road to Florida State, I suspect that Clemson defense would be just 1 or 2 plays better than the Florida State defense, and Clemson will win this game Saturday night and keep their college football playoff chances alive. And now the final game of the week, number 7, Nebraska versus number 11, Wisconsin. I have not seen Nebraska play yet. Tommy Armstrong Jr., the quarterback over there, he looks good every time I see him on the highlights. I've seen Wisconsin play. They lost to Michigan by 7. They took Ohio State to overtime. Wisconsin is for real. They're getting Nebraska at home. Nebraska, you won't win this game. Point blank, period. Wisconsin over Nebraska. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That has been this week's edition of NCAA Football Week 9. I'm your host, Thaddeus Ward, and I thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in. And if you have any comments, questions, or want to discuss some football with me, you can hit me up on Twitter, Ward_Thaddeus, Instagram, First Big Homie, Facebook, Thaddeus Ward. You can email me, thadward2003@yahoo.com. And you can even call me on my personal phone. I'll take some time out and talk to you. We talk about football. 334-464-4402. And with that being said, all you college fans out there, do what I'm going to do this weekend. Enjoy your college football weekend. And I'll see you guys next week right here on Game Time with the Guru. I'm your host, Thaddeus Ward. Have a good weekend.